When a private letter surfaces online, it can destroy a reputation or reveal a heart. Last week, a handwritten note believed to be from Remy Ma to Papoose began circulating across social media, leaving fans speechless. It wasn't a song. It wasn't a diss. It was something far deeper, raw, honest, and heartbreakingly real. The handwriting was unmistakable. The words, full of regret, love, and strength, felt like a confession to the man who once stood by her through everything. But was the letter really meant to be seen? Or was it stolen from a private moment meant only for him? Tonight, we uncover the truth behind the letter that has every fan asking the same question. Is this the end of Remy Ma and Papoose, or the start of a new chapter they never saw coming? The letter appeared quietly. No headline. No official post. Just a blurred photo shared on a small gossip page with the caption, "A letter found in a studio drawer," allegedly written by Remy Ma. Within hours, it spread everywhere, from hip-hop blogs to TikTok breakdowns. Fans tried to decode every line, searching for hidden meaning, trying to feel what she must have felt while writing it. The letter began softly. "Pap, if you're reading this, I hope it's because you finally understand why I stayed silent." That first line alone shattered the internet, because silence, that's what had surrounded them for months. No joint appearances, no photos, no interviews, just silence, heavy, unspoken, and louder than any argument. Remy had always been strong, the kind of woman who fought her battles publicly, unapologetically. But this was different. The tone of the letter was soft, vulnerable. It wasn't the Remy. The world knew it was the Remy, only he knew. She wrote about loyalty, about love that endures even after it's tested. "You waited for me when no one else did. You believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. I'll never forget that." But as the letter went on, her tone shifted. It wasn't just a thank you note, it was a goodbye written between the lines. "We built something the world admired, but I can't keep pretending it feels the same. I need to find myself again outside the woman everyone expects me to be." Those words hit like a storm, because they spoke of exhaustion, not anger, of distance, not betrayal. It was the kind of letter you write when love doesn't die, it just changes shape. Behind the scenes, sources close to both artists confirmed, yes, the letter was real. It had been written months earlier, tucked away in a private studio folder, never meant for public eyes. But someone found it, and the internet did the rest. Papoose didn't respond immediately. He stayed quiet, posting only a simple quote on his page that read, "Some words don't need answers, just respect." Fans flooded his comments, begging for clarity, but he gave none, because sometimes, silence is the answer. Meanwhile, Remy stayed off social media entirely. Her team refused to confirm or deny the letter, calling it a personal matter. But those who followed her journey knew. The emotions in that letter were too real to be fiction. One paragraph stood out among all others. "You were my peace when the world turned its back, but now, I need to learn how to be my own peace." That line went viral on TikTok, used in thousands of videos, soundtracked by slow piano music and heartbreak filters. The world turned her words into art, but few understood the pain behind them. Because Remy's story had never been easy, from prison to stage, from silence to spotlight, she had fought her way through every chapter, and through it all, Papoose had been there. He had waited for her, he had believed in her. Their love wasn't a fairy tale, it was survival turned into devotion. But even the strongest love can reach a breaking point when both people outgrow the version of themselves they were when they fell in love. Days later, an anonymous friend of the couple shared what seemed to be the last page of the letter, one that hadn't been posted online before. It read, "If someday we cross paths again and smile instead of ache, I'll know we did something right. Until then, I'll keep your name safe in my heart, not as my husband, but as my hero." Those words changed the entire tone of the story. It wasn't bitterness, it wasn't regret. It was gratitude, wrapped in pain. Papoose was asked in an interview days later if he'd read the letter. He smiled faintly and said, "I don't need to read it. I already know her heart." That moment silenced everyone, because in those few words, he confirmed everything fans had been guessing. Yes, it was real. And yes, he'd already made peace with it. In the weeks that followed, both moved forward quietly. Remy began collaborating on new projects, focused on personal growth, mentorship, and women's empowerment. Papoose continued supporting young artists and posting messages about patience, faith, and resilience. And yet, both of them, in different interviews, on different platforms, used the same phrase, "Real love never dies." That's when fans realized maybe the letter wasn't about ending love. Maybe it was about transforming it, because some relationships don't collapse, they evolve into something softer, wiser, and everlasting in spirit. Months later, at an awards show, fate put them in the same room again, not as a couple, but as two legends who shared a history too deep to erase. When the camera panned toward them, fans held their breath. Would they speak? Ignore each other? Pretend nothing ever happened? They didn't do any of that. Instead, Remy walked past, paused for a moment, and gave him a small nod. He smiled back. No words exchanged, just understanding. That 2-second moment went viral again, and the caption under every clip said the same thing. When love ends, but respect stays. Because maybe that was the real story all along. A love that didn't vanish. It just matured beyond romance. Love doesn't always need a forever to be real. Sometimes, its power lies in how it ends. Remy Ma's letter wasn't a scandal. It was a mirror showing us what it means to love deeply, lose gracefully, and heal silently. If you've ever loved someone enough to let them go, you know the courage it takes to write the kind of letter she did. Comment, real love never dies, if you believe in unconditional love. And, subscribe for more stories that show the beauty behind pain, the truth behind silence, and the strength behind letting go, because at the end of the day, not every love story ends in goodbye. Some just turn into lessons that last a lifetime.